Welcome to tonight's 5 on 5. The guest is Chris Cook. She's here to talk about workplace happiness, and it starts with your business, which name is Capiche. I have to do that in Italian.
Yes,
I have to do that. So tell me about it.
Well, Capiche is a business that works with other businesses and helps them grapple with things that are going on, like if you're a business owner and you're wanting to have higher profits and more of a competitive advantage, or if you're a leader in a business or organization and you're looking to bring your team up to that next level, or if you're just an employee and you want to be happier at work, Capiche will work with you. And we address a lot of very common themes that we're seeing these days. How do we keep our best people when we don't really have the money to give them raises or bonuses? How do we deal with the realities of downsizing but still having to deliver that product or provide those services? And so I in Capiche work with organizations using the science of happiness at work to help them with that.
And where do some of the models come from, and where do you start with the businesses and or the employees?
Well, the science of happiness at work is really the model. And before I get into it, maybe I should just define what happiness at work is. I think a lot of people sort of think they know, but when it is science, you start getting specific. And what it is it's a mindset that people have that allow them to maximize their resources and achieve their potential at work. And so think about it. If you're achieving your potential at work, you feel good, right? So you feel happy. And so that's what we're talking about here is helping people feel as though they're achieving their potential. And the science comes in from the research that has been going on at Oxford University since 2005. And in this research, they have been able to identify the key drivers of what makes people happy at work, what allows people to feel as though they can achieve their potential. And so because of that, we can measure it. We can do an assessment on you and say, Joe, take this assessment and we're going to see how happy you are here at KOBI. And once we get that back, we can say, well, you're great in these areas, but you're feeling maybe not as highly recognized as you want to be. And so then we can work with you on that as a result.
I have a couple more questions for you, so stick around. More 5 on 5 right after the break. Welcome back to the 5 on 5. The guest is Chris Cook, and we've been talking about workplace happiness, your business Capiche of helping employers and employees find that workplace happiness. What are some of the basics of it that when you talk to an employee, what they can control and how they can help themselves be happy?
Well, the interesting thing is that 50% of your happiness is genetically based. And so you don't really have a whole lot of control over that. And then only 10% of it is based on your environment, the stuff that you have, the job you have, the car you drive, your education. And so that leaves 40% that's really in your control. And people are excited when they hear that. They think, well, I can do something with that 40%. And employers can also help people do something with that 40% by providing a supportive and positive environment for people. And so when I talk about happiness at work, it's not all the employer's responsibility. It's a joint responsibility between the employee and the employer.
And there's studies out right now that you're saying that kind of show how that helps the company grow itself.
It certainly does. There is research going on all over the country at UC Riverside, at University of Pennsylvania, at Harvard University. In fact, this month's Harvard Business Review is all about how happiness drives profits.
Wow. And if someone's interested in how they can learn more, how they can become happy, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, probably the easiest way is to come through my website, which is capiche.us. And if they want to send me an email or a message, I would be really delighted to send them a link so they can take their own happiness assessment for free. Or I could work with them and help them with a team report to see how happy their team is. And I would do that for free too. And that would give them an opportunity to see if this science of happiness at work is something that could be useful for them and their organization.
Quickly wrapping things up, when you've been doing this work, how would you rate it here in America and in the situation that we're in? Do you find it something that needs to be really worked on?
It is just so critical these days with companies with budgets shrinking and needing to drive profits more, you know, a happier employee is going to be twice as productive at work. They're going to be sick 10 times less, and they're going to stay with your company twice as long. So that's real money that we're talking about, that happiness and profits really do go hand in hand.
All right, well, thank you very much for stopping by, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, that's it for the 5 on 5. More right after the break.